Come on, guys. Africans, we have to wake up now. Yesterday, the WHO approved Kenya amongst other 9 countries for the HIV vaccine. HIV has a patent. Anything that occurs in nature, pathogens, viruses, bacteria, does not have a patent. But anything that is manufactured in a lab is owned by someone. So as at now, there's no debate that actually the HIV virus was manufactured in a lab and it belongs to someone, because you go and check, HIV virus has a patent. HIV has had a long journey. We lived in the days where HIV victims died because there was no medication. Ugandans, many Africans died in huge numbers. And we went to the phase where HIV, we got the ARVs. There are days where HIV victims were taking medicines, so much medication that would fill a bowl. But that has evolved over time. Now the ARVs has gone to 2 drugs a day, 1 drug a day. The kind of ARVs that Africans take is different from the ARVs, say, that is taken in Europe, is taken in America. We very well know, even in this day and age, in America, HIV victims will even get 1 shot in a year, as ARV. Some places are getting 2 shots. Now we have gotten to the age whereby there is a vaccine that has been developed for HIV. Not forgetting the history that any doctor who came around with HIV medication, any doctor across the country, any scientist that had a breakthrough investigation on HIV, coincidentally disappeared. But today we have a vaccine approved by the WHO. Think about that for seconds. A vaccine approved. When a vaccine is approved, it is approved for the infected or not infected. A vaccine is approved for the not infected people. So you have to see this a path that is being taken here. We are no longer concerned about the infected. We are now going to the unaffected population. So they are giving the unaffected population a gate pass of promiscuity because you have a vaccine. They've discovered everything around this ailment. They have grown from one form of medication to the other. Today they are on a vaccine, but they have never given us the cure of HIV. Does that ring a bell in your ear? Does that ring a bell in the ear? But now they're giving us a vaccine of HIV. Guys, I want to warn you. Be faithful to your partners. Remain sexually disciplined. Do not go for these vaccinations. You could be injecting worse problems into your bodies than the actual HIV. Ask yourself why they've never brought 100% treatment to HIV. Ask yourself why the science around a medication has never come to the limelight. We've never had a breakthrough, but we can have a breakthrough on the vaccination. My take is always give your bodies an opportunity to go through an infection and heal it. And if there's a way of avoiding an infection, avoid that infection. Stop sexual promiscuity. Be disciplined in your sexual behavior. A vaccine that you do not really understand what is in it, a whole medical journey that can produce a vaccine but cannot produce a medication, and you want to trust that vaccine into your body. There's a lot happening in today's world, and I'm going to give it one name. It is biological terrorism on mankind. Be wise, be a critical thinker. Well, I want to talk about this vaccination of typhoid and measles that is being pushed by the government to the children of this country in this month of July. I went down the rabbit hole and I've researched and realized this particular project is funded or is supported by the WHO and Gavi. That's a red flag already for me. Let's go deeper. Let's see who are the biggest funders of WHO and Gavi. Just first of all, check who are the biggest funders. The second, is it the third red flag, is what is the investment of the Kenyan government on this particular project. I can assure you the only thing the Kenyan government is doing on this project is rolling it out to the masses, not a dime invested by the Kenyan government. Actually, they use these projects to get money from these funders. Measles is one of the diseases that children receive vaccination when they're young. So what is this that warrants another vaccination for children? What happened to giving our bodies an opportunity to develop immune against these infections? The best immune that a human body can have is an immune built by the body itself. And what happens? Once you get an infection, your body produces antibodies against that infection. That's the best immune that a human body can have. Let's talk about the project, the vaccinations rolled out by WHO, rolled out by the Gavi through the Kenyan government that have caused adverse reactions to the population, and no one listens. No one listens to the cry of the affected. And they say, oh, the percentages were small, not many people complained. In 2023, they rolled out a deworming project on the school children. In my inbox, I received thousands inboxes from parents. My child is admitted. My child is sick. My child has an effect all on the skin. That was an immunization that was rolled out by the MOH through these organizations that come here to Africa. It is sad that African governments, because they love holding the begging bowl, will never question anything that comes from the West. It is really a sad situation. Do we have a system where we collect data of adverse effects? Because right now, there is a huge Kenyan population suffering from the COVID jabs. Huge population. This government doesn't talk about it. How are they going to talk about it if they're always begging and begging and begging? How are they going to talk about it? How are they going to fight for their people? And they're always handing over the African population to these organizations as guinea pigs, as population control projects, but they come in these philanthropic ways. My opinion is, do not go for anything free from the government. By now, this government doesn't wish you well. They do not wish you well. They do not care if you are alive or not. So when they tell you, vaccinate, or we want to keep your children alive, and it's for free, you are the price. You are the one paying the price. These projects are not implemented to make sure you're alive. Come on, guys. Africans, we have to wake up now. I did a video about the children vaccination that has gone viral, but I've just gone to the comment section and I've recorded a couple of those comments to show you how people are suffering, to show you how the things that people are going through. No one listens to them. Government has not established a structure to collect this information. Please go to my YouTube channel. I'll post a lot of that there. My YouTube channel, on the link, click up there. It's called Ekima Hub. And let's continue having these conversations. These are hard conversations, but we must have them. I'm just going through the comments that people have pinned on that video, and I'm going to just read these comments. One person says, about your post, I am a healthcare worker, and believe me, our family kids aren't receiving any free vaccination. That's a healthcare worker. Another friend says, I got really, really sick of COVID vaccines. Nikapata relapses 3 times. My children will not be vaccinated. Another friend says, after getting the Johnson COVID injection, I'm permanently hypertensive. I can't do without the medication. How I wish I knew. Another person says, wanasema hizi jabs zilikuwa na long-term adverse effects. Go check on FDA website. That is there. Another person says, imagine when they brought the immunization for polio, they came to my door and gave my 2-year-old child the next thing. We were running to the hospital because the child was conversing. When tests were done, then all of a sudden, a child who was well had blood infection. Another woman here says, the same thing happened to my son too. I had to stay in the hospital for a whole week because of infection and fever. That's over the polio vaccination. Another parent says, tangu nidungwe ni kama nilinyonya immune yangu. They get sick over and over. Another person says, mimi hapa sikudungwa. My friend Shege kutoka adungwe COVID, headache every day. There was a headache, zitaua huyu msejo. Another Kenyan says, Kenyans be careful. Mimi, I regret jab ya corona mpaka wa leo. These are people's testimonials. Another person says, I was sick karibu nikufe na pressure. Alafu ili affect macho. Naumwa na macho mpaka saa hii sitawahi dungwa jab yeyote. Another Kenyan says, Mimi, my hand enyewe walidunga haijawahi kuwa normal. Hadi wa leo, I go through a lot of pain. Another Kenyan says here, me too, I'm regretting. My immune system is weak. Ningalijua singedungwa jab ya corona. Another Kenyan here says, nimekuwa mgonjwa last 3 years. Ilinipatia pressure, nikashikwa na ugonjwa ya macho, mpaka saa hizi naangaika na madawa ya macho. Kuna rafiki yangu mzungu alikufa after hiyo jab. Mwingine anasema nini? Wacha nikwambie, hizi jab ni scam. Naishi Germany, huku watu wengi wameshtaki gava juu ya hizo vaccines. Another Kenyan says, mpaka saa hii niko half blind, nilikuwa na mgonjwa sana. Another Kenyan says, I became sick after the vaccine, joint pains and many others. Another one says, I personally developed nerve problems after COVID vaccine. Sitaki kwenda kuchukua ingine. Another one says, a month after the vaccine, niligonjeka mgongo for 6 months. The first month hata singesimama.